to the channel. I woke up early today to film. I'm very proud. So I'm gonna recreate a look I did on a date night a couple of months ago. It was so beautiful. I didn't really get any pictures, so I definitely want to get pictures in it. Plus I feel like it's just a really pretty, simple and effective look. So let's get into it. Skincare, as you can see, is done. Your girl is glowing. I used my Relada Skin Food. Brows are done. I used a different technique and I'm obsessed. Like, I love it. I feel like I finally got a brow routine that I actually like. So for primer, I'm going to use my Pro Base Anyway primer. And that's just going to add another layer of hydration, which I don't mind, because if anything, I always want my skin to look healthy, and I think that's where makeup looks the best. For complexion, we're going to use our glowish. We're going to use Glowish by Huda Beauty. This is the multi-dew skin tint, and I got it in the shade 12 Rich. I do know she came out with a powder and a blush, but honestly, I'm gonna be real, I'm not interested in a powder. I don't use powder that much in my routine. I feel like the powders I have are pretty fine, so I don't need any more. I'm just gonna kind of dot this around. I know it's like marketed as a skin tint, but for me, this is like a light foundation. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. buffing foundation brush and just tap that in and get a really nice complexion. I've been really trying to work on my skincare, you guys, because whew, trust me, I have been literally abandoning my skin a lot, so hopefully it's showing on camera that I'm actually trying. So the main event of this video is going to be my Fenty number 10 Money palette. It's my favorite like Fenty palette that I actually have. To me, Fenty shadows aren't the best, but you can make them work. Out of the ones I've tried, this one is my favorite because it's mostly shimmers, and the shimmers are stunning. So let's prime the eyes. Obviously, I'm going to use my bperfect. I always use this. I'm just going to put purple, put our primer on. So I'm just going to blend this out. And this is one of my best primers I've ever used. I would definitely repurchase it. I literally got it for free in a bundle, and honey, I like to just kind of pat it down when I'm blending. Just get a good coverage. And you also want to make sure when you're putting on eye primer that it's consistent over the whole eye. You don't want to have it like patchy, like more primer in some areas, less primer in other areas. So now I'm going to go into a brown, but I want something kind of warm. I actually forgot I had the neutrals free on the back that I could use. I'm going to use this brown and that brown just to create a transition. Just kind of blend underneath my brow. Just get rid of any like ashiness going on. I might use a little bit of that orange too, just to warm it up. Now I'm going to go into the brown in the Huda palette. I'm kind of just going to go, oh, you see how pigmented it is? Let me just put the rest here. Kind of going to blend that in. I feel like I'm moving quite fast, but it's very simple. I'm just kind of creating like a transition really, so these greens have somewhere to go. Now I'm going to go into the 10 palette, and I'm going to try my best to recreate this look. So I'm going to grab my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to go into the deepest green, which is the shimmery green here. I'm going to pop that onto my brush, and I'm going to apply that on my outer lid here, this area. Pop that down. Look how beautiful that shade is. Oh my goodness, so pretty. I'll pop it down here. Do the same to the other side. That's the thing about Fenty, I feel like it's their mattes where I feel like they struggle. Now we're going to use another like similar like lid brush, and we're going to go into, basically we're going to use all the shimmers, but we're going to do it like a gradient. So I'm going to go into this green here, and I'm going to go over top and kind of bring it into my inner corner. So we're doing like a gradient effect. You know what, let me snap this off so I can show you guys what the shades are. The first shade I used was Fat Pockets, and then the second shade I'm now using is Direct Deposit. Then we're going to go with another clean brush, and we're going to go in with Need Receipts, which is this shade. So we used this shade first, then we went into this shade. Now we're going into this shade here called Need Receipts, and we're going to bring that in here and blend it into the eye as well. So we're creating like a gradient of different greens. Bring that in here. So pretty. And then the last shade we're going to go into is the yellow gold called Flash Money. I love the names of this palette, it's so cute. Now this shade out of the whole palette is quite like clumpy, so you want to be careful with it because you don't want it to apply that way, like with too much product. But I'm literally going to use that, not in my inner tear duct, but literally in the inner part of the eye. So it has kind of quite a bit of fallout, so you want to be careful. Do y'all see that? Do you see that? It's so pretty. It kind of reminds me of Trophy Wife. I'm just kind of going to apply it right in the inner corner. I'm just going to blend out the edges here. So now I want to throw on lashes. I'm going to use my lashes from my brand if you're watching the entrepreneur vlogs. So these are the doll face style, so I'm going to pop these on. Okay guys, so lashes are on. I'm absolutely loving these lashes. Like, I was like hooked on Shy Girl for a minute, but now doll face are like becoming my favorite, so obsessed. Today I'm actually going to use my Too Faced and my L'Oreal just for a lift of color. I think this Too Faced concealer is so good, but it's the color for me. I think on Black Friday I'm going to try and buy, I think it's called Butterscotch, and see how that works. But I think I've mentioned it on my channel that I just don't love the color. So I'm just going to apply my concealer like always, just under the eyes here, not directly under, over here to give me some lift. I'm just going to blend out my nose contour. Just like to tap up and down. I actually need to get a new Juno & Co sponge. I have a pink one, and the only reason why I don't use it is because I don't want to stain it. But probably it's gonna have to happen someday. So I'm literally just gonna follow my regular routine now, my highlight and contouring. Now we're going with our liquid contour, but I'm actually gonna use my Fenty today because I hardly use her. This is the Ebony Matchsticks. It's pretty deep though, not gonna lie. It's pretty deep. Let's see how she blends. So I'm gonna use the bottom of my beauty sponge and just diffuse her. Let's give her a chance because I feel like I kind of like just was over her because she just wasn't giving what I thought. I mean, it diffused out, but I just feel like I didn't get that much payoff. I'm going to try and use a brush. I'm just going to use this Morphe brush. I literally just used it for powder the other day. This is the M335. I'm just going to see if a brush gives me something different. I don't know. I feel like I haven't really worked out how to use this. So that's why you guys don't see it in tutorials, because I just feel like it's a little bit tricky. Let's go ahead and set our under eyes. I think I'm going to mix the both, the Laura Mercier and the Huda though. I can finally set my forehead because she's being freaking glowing. For bronzer, I'm going to use my Fenty Thick Mint. Love this stuff. I'm just gonna press this powder in. This is still kind of damp. I'm gonna like literally press it in as if I'm blending out a concealer. You see how it kind of just like presses in? That just looks like extra flawless, super pretty. So now we're gonna finish off bronzing. I'm actually gonna use my Morphe bronzer in Supreme. It almost reminds me of Makeup Mammy, but this formula is so gorgeous. So I'm just gonna kind of go over my bronzer. It's like pretty red, so it kind of acts like a little bit of a blush, but you know. I do want to apply blush, but I'm not gonna go with anything bright because the eye's already talking for us. So I'm gonna go with my Pat McGrath. Oh my gosh, I messed up my nails like breaking into these freaking palettes. But this is the Paradise Venus blush, so pretty. And I'm just gonna use my Lady England brush that I always use for my blush, which is the C2 brush. Pick up some of this and I'm just gonna Bit on the high points. Let's diffuse that. Not too much because again, we're already dealing with colour on the lid, so we don't want to do too much as far as the face. We want to keep it pretty soft. I'm going to go over it with the sponge, keep everything down. I'm just going to put mascara on, and that seems really boring, but I have small eyes, so I find that when I did put like eyeshadow on my lower lash line, I don't have a lot of space on my lower lash line, so it just started to make my eyes look very like droopy, and I just didn't really like it. Today for highlight, I'm actually going to use Blaze, which is more of like a peachy, I'll call it like a rose goldy shade. I'm going to swatch it so you guys can see. So that is a Blaze, super gorgeous, like it's so freaking pretty. Usually you guys would see me use Shy Glow, which is more of like a champagne coppery glow. That is Shy Glow right there. They're very like close, but this one obviously has like more of a peachy like rose gold look. So I'm gonna go for the Blaze. I'm just gonna apply that high point. Not too much. Okay, so for my forehead, I'm actually going to mattify it, but I'm actually going to use my Fenty powder in 450 just to go over it. I'm going to lightly go over this. So now we're on to our finishing touches. I'm going to use my bperfect brow setter. Just set these brows. Also because there's been like quite a lot of powder flying while I've been doing my face, this just kind of defines them. I usually like to like brush up in the front and then on the bottom just kind of swoop and define it. And then for lips, we're going to keep it super simple. I think I'm going to go in with Kiko 19. So I'm going to use my Morphe Richie liner as always. I think I'll forever be like a dark lip liner type of girl. Like the 90s dark lip liner is just going to always be my thing. I'm using my Morphe Continuous Set Mist to just set. So I'm just gonna... So I'm gonna let this dry down, and I'm gonna change into the dress just so you guys can see the overall look, the aesthetic, the vibe that I was giving. But obsessed ain't even the word. And yeah, this is kind of how I wore my hair actually. I was going to put it back in the sleek ponytail, but this is actually how I wore it on the day. I kind of had it just down. But yeah, this is the finished look. In terms of my jewelry, my necklace, you guys have probably seen me wear this so much. They're actually from So You Feel. Even my other ones, they're from So You Feel jewelry. The earrings are Dior. The dress, I showed you guys this in a collective haul. It's super cute. I showed you guys how it looked and how it looks on in that haul. So pretty. But yeah, I guess that wraps it in today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to give it a nice thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, because if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one.